Good afternoon. Welcome to OptionsTender. It's Wednesday, March 12th, 2025. Welcome, traders. We're going to take a look at SPY on the daily and then the 65. Then we're going to go around the horn on the lower time frames on the 65-minute on the rest of the indices that we usually go through. So make sure you stick around for the whole thing. Play the video at 1.25 or 1.5 speed so you can get all of this information quicker and so you can watch other YouTube videos, right? So if you want to see the higher degree, the higher time frames, check out yesterday's video, and especially, and I'll tag it right above here, check out the video about the bear market analysis. So every once in a while when we're coming to turns in the market, like we are now, I believe we're done with this wave here. When we get up to turn, when we're looking for a top, then we'll go ahead and start making another bear market analysis. So super important video that we'll go ahead and post that up above there. So we're doing this intraday about 1:50 Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get these videos intraday, consider becoming a YouTube member for 99 cents a month. You get a Discord trade alerts with it. Right now, in very small positions, looking to the upside, and I'm waiting for our cycle to pass by for lows. Okay, I am not sure that this low is in, and what we're looking for is, in just a nutshell, and I'll show you this, give you a visual, is we're looking for a pop up, maybe to test the 8 EMA or so, and then a drop to reach, I think about 550 would be the zone that we're looking for. It's kind of the middle of this move here. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But either way, if the cycle starts to pass by and we don't make a lower low, we make a higher low, that's fine too. That's exactly what we're looking for. Essentially, we think this move is over, and that even if we make a lower low, it's still not part of this wavelet. It's part of the correction that's happening. Okay, so we're into support right now. We're coming into time and price. The 13th is what we have on the daily time frame. So wherever price is on there, we'll see what happens, what occurs into that. Now we do have time and price going into Friday as well. As of right now, and I don't believe this will change at this point. Right there, that should do it. Here's our retracements: 575, 582, 590 approximately, and then if things get out of hand, 600 up here. Those are our retracements that we're looking for. The 382 is definitely not the first target. Our first target is technically the 50%. Now, will we take any profit off of there? Sure, absolutely. Each level, maybe take some profit off of there and start laying into a much, much larger move to the downside. I just don't believe that after we get our bottom worked out here, I just don't believe that it's going to stop here at the 50% or lower at that point. I think it'll sling higher. It doesn't have to. And believe me, it does not have to, but you have your moving averages starting to curl down. It's getting very bearish, and I think we're just testing the moving averages. So we'll be testing the moving averages. Okay, let's go down to the 65. Actually, I have one more to show you, one more board, because we've been focusing on this board here. So two things that are happening. If you're a bull, you're looking at this being somehow 1, 2, maybe wave 3 up top here. It would be right here. And then an ABC for a wave 4, and you're looking for new highs at that point. Okay, so we're right into this support here. I know that we spiked through, but it's a zone. We're holding on to this zone here. And I think we're going to find, as soon as we get back on top and form some market structure, we're going to have some bulls come in. And that's why I think this is going to be a steeper move. It's very common for either a flat pattern, but more or less the a zigzag when you have a move to the upside for a wave 2. And this is the plan, 3, 4, and 5. Now let's go to the 65. On a traditional look here, holding on to that bottom still. You see where price is just trying to grasp on there. This is somewhat of what we're looking for. Now, we talked about pop and drop yesterday, so we got a little bit of a pop, but clearly this hasn't started moving really off the lows yet. All right, it's having a hard time getting momentum and curling to the upside. So perhaps PPI continues this move to the upside. If we make a low into Thursday or Friday, a new low, here would be our target here at 550. If we make that low going into Thursday or Friday, then I don't think that this wavelength was complete. Okay? If we make it sooner than later, then I think that's all part of this wave, and we didn't have it counted right. Okay, so if we break out from this wedge first and then get a new low, I think that's an expanded flat. So that's what we're looking for so far. But again, if we can't get above this trend line right here and we make our lows immediate into Thursday and Friday timing, then I think this is all wave 1 and we still have to start the correction for wave 2, and then we'd probably get a zigzag off of that. We'll have to see when price gives us information. Okay, so very important. That information is probably the key importance of this video right there. Let's go over to this board here. Now, we have a low into time and price so far. So we had this cluster here on the 11th. So I'll take those off. That looks good. Now, we're still working on that A wave, and then a B, and then a C. Now it doesn't, like I said, doesn't have to do that. And then we have a cluster into the 14th. So that's what we're talking about there. So I believe so far that wave 1 is done. And like I said, if this makes a new low, like now, meaning that this was just some sort of correction off of this larger degree wave count, then we make a new low, then I'll just move this 1 over here, and we haven't even started ABC yet. Okay? What else? And if that's the case where we make our low first, then I'll have to move these retracements with it. If we break out for an A wave, then the retracements do not change. All right. Let's go to the Qs. Qs holding on to its lower part of the pattern of the expanding wedge, and relatively stronger, but also on the Qs and SPY, we've made that break and the options expected move to the downside, and we're having trouble getting back over it. And even if we do get over it, it's just highly unlikely that we make it to the upper end of the options expected move. So that's why we're treading so light in our positions at this time. Going into next week, if we go lower first, then I'll just start adding on to calls right away, because then I think this move is done, and we'll be looking for some sort of sharp move going into next week. And especially with FOMC, I think that will, depending on where price is, that will either, if we're higher with FOMC, that could, if we have a straight line up so far, meaning we have no market structure, higher highs and higher lows, if we're just straight up into FOMC, then maybe that brings us down, for a correction, and then we head off for an A, B, C. But if price is down lower into FOMC, maybe that's it'll call a bottom at that point and start our correction to the upside. And I can take this off. We are well past my targets there. Did not know this was going to happen. I was looking really forward to this being a low. Made a new low there. Let's take that off. All right, now we're looking for, I should actually, let's tag this. Let's take that and undo. Now we're looking for our move higher. And our move higher should take us into possibly, well, let's see what our retracements are. On the Qs, our first would be the 23.38. So we'll be looking to this 504 and 512. And if things get wild, 525. So I'll put it at 512. That's where I project that price is going to make it to. Again, and now this is in this consolidation zone here. So boom, boom. All right. SMH. Now SMH, we just went over. By the way, we just went over AMD, SMH in our individual analysis. That's $4.99 a month to get those individual names. And we went through that today. I think the setup in AMD is looking really good, but I want to wait for the market to catch some traction first. And I'm focused on this leg here. We're looking for a higher low at this point. The timing, the low, I believe is in. Very confident that this low is in for SMH and that any pullback is going to be a higher low while the overall market is not in the same position. And we'll be looking for probably some sort of inverse head and shoulder or so. Again, we're already past the options expected move on the upper end. I don't suspect that we'll make it to this opposite end. That's just not how it works. Next week, we'll be looking for the upper ends of the options expected move. IWM and DIA seem to be holding up the market, holding it from moving to the upside, and I think that's how it's going to play. It may even go lower. They are weaker right now, and DIA is extremely weak, but not a whole lot to report on these. Not going long on any of these names here. Any of these indices might have a little bit more to go. But we looked in that on the daily time frame yesterday, so make sure you take a look at that video. And the VIX. So the VIX, I'll just reiterate what's happening here, what we're looking for. We had the breakout, just a really messy, choppy move here. That was difficult to trade, and you just really had to have an iron fist, hodl, to hold on to this type of move. And let things go, and that's where we should have relied more on the 8 EMA and the daily time frame. We talked about that yesterday. So this is our trend line for the VIX, starting to break that at this point. I think the VIX maybe closes this gap first, and then at some point, you have support here, so maybe gets a bounce off of support to backtest this channel. And then from there, I think we get a VIX crush to go to much lower prices, maybe 19, maybe lower. We'll see. But I think this move is done. And even if SPY makes a new low, I think the VIX is going to make a lower high, okay, where it diverges from the overall market. Okay, that's the gist of this. Don't forget to watch this video right here for the bear market analysis. We'll continue to update this. I should have called it part 1, but we already have wave 1 done. When wave 2, when I feel like it's about to be done, I'm going to start calling out stock market crash again on my video names, the titles. And right now we're looking for rallies. So that's exactly how my options portfolio will buy the dip, in other words. And then when that switches, then we'll be selling the rip. Okay, thanks for watching here at OptionsTender. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.